Antics, which is a better team.
Would they be better than
you're just going to look at, sometimes, you can win the Player of the Year award and not be necessarily the best player. You haven't won anything. So I'm kind of like, is this a better team? Look, let's have this conversation, Jim. At the end of the season, hopefully, if Arsenal got 2 pots sitting on the counter, be a nice conversation to have. But they're nowhere near it yet. They're just on that race. They haven't reached that mountain.
If they were to win the double, would they be better than you?
We'll discuss it. I think they probably would be, because they would have achieved more than we did. I mean, let's be fair. The Invincibles tag was a consolation for a team that probably should have won the treble that season. We went out of the Champions League and FA Cup.
Not a question. Repeating kind of smaller gobbets. Enough from me. Let's see what you're all saying about this. Straight up. Reactions. Andrew and Bolton. Anthony and Andrew, on you go. What do you think?
I think he's useless. The fact is, he wants to go back into Europe without giving us any favour, since that 67% of the country voted against him in the first place. So he hasn't got a massive majority or a mandate to do so. So why does he have that right to do that without giving us a choice over a referendum or something to say we're going back in?
Well, what does he mean by back in? This is what he said.
It sounds like he wants to take us back in. Well, I think another meeting and try to get us closer.
Well,
we didn't vote for that. 67% voted against it.
Let me run this by you, and then you can come back. We will be defined by rebuilding.
Hi everyone. Today we are looking at a very interesting and historically important portable transistor radio from the Soviet Union. This is the Sokol 2-band 7 transistor radio manufactured by the Moscow TEMP Radio Works, formerly known as Moselectric, in the mid-1960s. The particular model we are discussing today dates from around 1965, and according to historical retail documentation, this radio was sold in Hungary for approximately 660 Hungarian forints. Now, for many people today, this may just look like another small vintage transistor radio, but in reality, radios like this played a much larger role in everyday life throughout Eastern Europe and the wider communist world. This was not simply an entertainment device. It was a daily news source, a portable companion, a connection to music and information, and sometimes even a small window to the outside world beyond state-controlled media. And that is exactly what makes the Sokol radio so fascinating today. The name Sokol, or Sokol in Russian, translates to Falcon in English, and throughout the Soviet era, the Sokol name became associated with compact portable radios designed for ordinary people, workers, students, travelers, families, and daily life across the USSR and Eastern Bloc countries. The Sokol series eventually became one of the best known Soviet portable radio brands, with production continuing in various forms well into the 1970s and 1980s. But this early 1960s version is especially important because it represents the transition from vacuum tube radios to portable transistor technology. Now let's talk about the company itself. The radio was manufactured by the Moscow TEMP Radio Works, a factory with a surprisingly deep industrial history. The origins of this plant actually go back before the Soviet Union itself. According to historical factory records, the enterprise was relocated from St. Petersburg to Moscow around 1918, shortly after the Russian Revolution. Over the decades, it changed names multiple times. First, governmental electromechanical plant Moselectric, Orjonikidze Moscow Radio Works, and eventually TEMP state-owned enterprise. So this was not a small workshop. This was a major Soviet industrial electronics plant involved in radio production for decades. And by the 1960s, factories like TEMP were central to Soviet consumer electronics manufacturing. To properly understand this radio, we also need to understand the world it existed in. In the 1960s, television ownership was still limited in many areas. Portable electronics were considered modern and valuable. Imported Western electronics were expensive or unavailable. Radio remained the primary medium for information and entertainment. And in communist countries, radio had even greater significance. It connected people to national broadcasting, cultural programming, sports, government announcements, music, and in some cases, foreign broadcasts. Long wave and medium wave broadcasting covered huge distances, especially at night, and because of that, a small portable radio like the Sokol could suddenly bring voices and music from hundreds or even thousands of kilometers away. For many families, owning a portable transistor radio in the 1960s represented modernity and progress. Now let's move to the technical side. The Sokol is a 7 transistor super heterodyne receiver covering long wave and medium wave bands. The use of 7 transistors was considered respectable for a compact portable set of this era. Internally, the radio uses germanium transistors, a ferrite rod antenna for AM reception, standard IF frequency around 465 kHz, multi-stage audio amplification, typical Soviet transistor lineups not known in the Western world. The power output is modest, only zero point 0.1 watt. But for a portable radio of this size and era, that was perfectly acceptable. Remember, this radio was designed for speech clarity, news broadcasts, portable listening, not high fidelity music reproduction. One of the nicest features of the Sokol is its portability. The radio came with a durable leather carrying case, making it practical for everyday transport. And this is something very characteristic of Eastern European electronics from the period. The radio was designed to survive daily use in apartments, at workplaces, during travel, outdoors, or even in rural environments. The leather case also gave the radio a more premium appearance. For many owners, this was not a disposable device, it was a valued household item. The radio typically operated from a 9-volt battery supply and also 220 AC main supply through external power cable. Battery powered portability was extremely important during this era because portable electronics were still relatively new. Power reliability varied in some regions. Mobility itself was considered modern and desirable. Now, let's talk about reception. The so called covers long wave and medium wave, and this is historically important. Today, many people no longer realize how dominant long wave and medium wave broadcasting once were. In Europe, especially, long wave stations covered enormous distances. Medium wave carried national and international programming across borders. At night, atmospheric conditions often allowed listeners to hear stations from distant countries. And for listeners in the Soviet bloc, this sometimes meant exposure to foreign broadcasters beyond local programming. Radio was not just entertainment, it was information, and information mattered enormously during the Cold War period. The Sokol also reflects a very specific Soviet engineering philosophy. Western portable radios of the 1960s often emphasize styling, miniaturization, fashion appeal. Soviet electronics, meanwhile, tended to prioritize simplicity, durability, repairability, functional engineering. And you can see that in the Sokol. The design is straightforward, logical, serviceable, robust. Even today, many surviving examples still function after more than half a century. That says a lot about the engineering. Now, naturally, this is not a hi fi receiver, but the sound has a character that many vintage radio enthusiasts appreciate. The larger speaker compared to tiny pocket radios gives surprisingly warm mid range, clear speech reproduction, pleasant AM radio tone, and because the audio stages use germanium transistor technology, many listeners describe the sound as softer and less aggressive compared to later silicon transistor radios. Why radios like this were important? Today we carry smartphones with global internet access, but in the 1960s, a portable transistor radio was a technological luxury. It gave people mobility, access to information, music anywhere, independence from large mains powered receivers. For students, workers, travelers, and families across Eastern Europe, the Sokol represented modern portable technology, and that is why these radios became so widespread. Restoration and collecting today. Today, radios like the Sokol are appreciated by collectors because they represent Cold War consumer electronic, early transistor technology, Soviet industrial design, everyday life behind the Iron Curtain. Common restoration work includes electrolytic capacitor replacement, cleaning wave band switches, battery compartment restoration, alignment adjustments, leather case preservation, and thankfully, the circuitry is usually simple enough to remain repairable. Why the Sokol still matters. The Sokol is important because it reminds us technology is not only about specifications, it is also about historical context, daily life, society, culture, and how ordinary people interacted with electronics. This little radio was once a news receiver, a travel companion, a family device, and for many people in Eastern Europe, a normal part of everyday life. So, when we look at the so called transistor radio today, we are not simply looking at a small Soviet radio receiver. We are looking at a piece of Cold War history, early portable transistor engineering, and a device that connected millions of ordinary people to the outside world through radio. And honestly, that is what makes vintage electronics so interesting. Not just the circuitry, but the human history behind them. And if you enjoy vintage radio technology, Cold War electronics, and classic analog engineering, make sure to subscribe. Thank you for watching. Until next time.